today I wanted to talk about what it's like to be a female in this world. So one of my videos before, I spoke about how I was raped. Now, I don't know whether my perspective on the world has changed through that experience, or it was coming from purely being feminine, in the feminine energy. I'm quite a spiritual person and quite in tune with the energies between the female, the feminine energy and the masculine energy. And I've noticed more so in the past, probably 5 to 10 years, that how I am in myself, out and about, just generally in the shops, walking the streets, being home, in my own home. So I'll give you some examples. So for example, I've had someone come over to the house before, like a plumber to sort out some, a plumbing issue, or electrician to check stuff, like obviously the electrics, because obviously the landlord would like that to be sorted and dealt with. Now, if I'm on my own in the house on that appointment time, I've previously phoned my mum and asked my mum to come over to the house so she's here with me, because there's something inside me, a feeling inside me that doesn't want to be on my own around a man in the house that I don't know. Now, saying it out loud like this, it sounds like, that's totally normal and natural for a feminine to feel like that, because the feminine nature, feminine energy is quite vulnerable at times. Feminine and masculine can be vulnerable, but it's hard to explain. We need, the masculine is kind of shown as in society as the protector. Now, obviously that's not always the case, but the masculine energy is the provider and the protector. For the feminine energy, it's just the free-flowing energy, being in the moment. The feminine is more being, while the masculine is more doing. But I've had this fear around males in situations. Like if I was to walk home in the evenings and it's getting a bit dark, I don't feel confident being out on the streets on my own. Now, a part of me questions it and thinks, is that society's programming from a young age to tell the females that they can't go out at certain times because something's going to happen to them? Yes, it could be based on facts as well. Lots of people have gone out in the evenings, particularly, I guess. This is what I've heard. Females have been attacked more so than males. So it feels like it's a fear-based tactic to keep females in their homes. But then there's the other side of it. It's like it does happen. And if you're out on your own and you're a female, you are unfortunately targeted. So it's trying to work out within myself that, am I afraid and am I fearful because someone else has told me that something's going to happen to me when I'm out on the streets at a certain time of the day, if it's dark? Am I fearful of walking down a side alley in the dark or going up a park lane in the dark? Does that fear come from the society's programming of saying you're going to be targeted? And it doesn't always have to be by males, but it isn't. I believe so to be mainly the masculine energy that creates the attacks. It targets the women that they're on their own. So the reason why I'm talking about this is just because something I've noticed for myself. Now, I'm not painting all males to be like this, because there's dozens, thousands and thousands and thousands of males out there that would never dream to hurt any woman or any being or anything. There's some genuine guys, masculine energies out there. Now, going into it a little bit more spiritual, for who's listening that's spiritual, when I say masculine energy, we all have feminine and masculine energy within us. It's the yin and the yang. It has to be there to balance us out. But what I'm referring to in this video is the male population. So yeah, it's just, you could have a female that's carries more masculine energy, and you can have a male that carries more feminine energy. But I just wanted to explain that I'm not necessarily talking specifically about the masculine and feminine energy in that way. I'm talking about it in, the male and the female populations, the male and the female in the society. I'm not quite sure if it's from, I'm not going to talk about it in that much depth, because like I say, I'm not completely sure statistics on things, but it's just how I'm feeling when I'm out and about and in my own home. And it's just something to be mindful of. I just sit and think, where does this come from? I have been quite fearful of males for most of my life. And again, I don't know whether that's come from a personal traumatic experience when I was younger, because I don't really remember my childhood. Or that's just from an innate, built-in, it's come from a built-in instinctual defence system. That's quite in depth there, but if it's my instincts or it's come from being taught this, it's very interesting. I do love psychology, so it's interesting to know, is this something that I've taken on from a belief from other people, or have I come to that conclusion myself from in here? Is this my intuition telling me, or is it a fear-based societal conditioning? I wonder if anyone else feels like this. They say that the world is male dominated, more so, the males are more the leaders, the ones that take charge and dominate. I have learnt that the male energy is like that. The male energy can, I'm not saying the females' energy isn't, but males are, like I say, providers and protectors, leaders, and they are quite dominant in their nature. So it leads me to question whether I'm picking up on that energy when I'm out and about. But I do realise that my thoughts are fear-based thoughts. Something's going to happen to me. I can't be my own of a man that I don't know. I'm not safe, I need protection and no one's here. Something's going to happen. And anxieties form from that. Anxiety and fear, it's hand in hand. So, yeah. I've thought about ways that I can help myself. I know a lot of people take up martial arts, some kind of form of defence if something was going to happen. You know how to look after yourself. It gives you more confidence and the ability to lessen these anxieties. But yeah, I think the main thing is to just listen to yourself, sit with yourself, and sit with these fears, and be like, okay, well, where is this coming from? It just helps to be mindful of how your body reacts around different situations, different people, different situations, and then just reflect, like, where's it coming from? You might not know the answer, and that's okay as well. It's just helping yourself and being there for yourself is the main thing. Showing yourself self-love and to know that you're okay, and yeah, I guess it's not so much fearing, it's just possibly being more alert when you're out and about, being more mindful of who's around you and the situations you put yourself in. I think that's the key answer. Not to worry and stress and get fearful. And if you do, just to sit with yourself and reflect, like I've said. I think it's just an interesting observation I've kind of come across. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's come from. It could be personally from me. It could have come from being raped, but I'm not sure. It's all about perspectives as well, how you're viewing things. I mean, you can get a child that's been brought up in a balanced, stable home that is healthy in the sense of attachments to people, relationships with people, and they form a balanced perception of how the male and the female is. And then you could have a child that's been brought up in a family with a secure dad but not a very secure mum, and that person can grow up not feeling comfortable around females or having fears around any connection with a female. And then, yeah, like I said, having a unstable male parent like myself, and having that security with my mum but not my dad, that could have led me to not trust the male population, basically. Well, not everyone, obviously, but the unknown, the ones I don't know. So yeah, it can come in many forms. It's just an observation that I want to talk about. So, is it an instinct, or has it come from the mind? From fear-based programming. Thank you for listening.